and we're live. What's happening, people? Good morning, America, and welcome everyone to our live stream. My name is Andrew, and for the last 10 years, I've worked in many institutional and retail Forex brokerages in Europe. Follow me in this amazing journey. Find out the hidden corners of Forex trading, learn what most Forex brokers don't want you to know, and get rewarded for it. I have an iPad waiting for its owner, live trading accounts, one-on-one training with a reputable market analyst from London, and much more. You can find all the links in the description down below, guys. Feel free to like, share, subscribe if you like what you see, and support us in delivering more great content. US markets open, coming up. Right, and we're back. Here's what's happening in the markets today, guys. 18th of November, 2020. US stocks point to higher opening today with the Dow Jones up 125 points pre-open. Pfizer finally ends the vaccine trial with 95% success rate, guys. EU in the last moments to reach a Brexit deal with the UK. That news came out a couple of hours ago from the European Union. Gold futures are trading low at 1869, and Bitcoin is holding the $18,000 level still. Welcome to the US trading session, everyone. We are exactly 6 minutes away from the market's opening. We're going to ring the bell, and then we're going to invite my guest for today. In the next few minutes, we will have, once again, George Agathangelou, from Cyprus Blockchain Association for a fantastic chat about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies once again. And let's not forget, guys, today is not all about today. Tomorrow morning, nice and early for the European markets open, we're going to have João Monteiro, founder and CEO at ForexC, for an amazing market talk about the state of the markets and the latest developments at ForexC. So stay tuned and don't miss out. But first, let's have a quick look at a couple of very interesting articles that I found today, guys. There's a lot going on the markets. There's a lot of news out there, and you need to get the latest news as soon as possible. So I'm going to start with the first article for today. U.S. stocks are seen opening a little higher today as investors digest the competing stories of positive news surrounding potential vaccines and mounting numbers of COVID-19 infections. At 7:05 a.m. Eastern Time, the Dow futures rose 126 points or 0.4%. The S&P 500 futures traded 10 points or 0.3% higher. And the NASDAQ 100 futures, guys, climbed 12 points or 0.1%. The major stock indices are having a strong November, boosted by positive news from two U.S. drug makers. Pfizer updated the efficacy of its candidate to 95%. And about the effectiveness of their potential COVID-19 vaccines. Overall, for the month, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up more than 12%, and the S&P 500 is up more than 10%. The NASDAQ Composite is up around 9% as well, underperforming due to a rotation out of technology shares into cyclical plays. This has come against a background of an increasing number of COVID-19 infections across the U.S., now averaging over 150,000 new cases a day. This has resulted in a number of major cities, including Chicago, Philadelphia, and New York, announcing new restrictions to try and stem the spread. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell yesterday applauded the recent news over potential vaccines, but said the U.S. economy still has a long way to go, while calling for additional fiscal stimulus to support the economic recovery. The same fiscal stimulus, guys, that Donald Trump was asking for, that Joe Biden is asking for now, and the Republicans seem to be rejecting it again and again. Let's see what the reason behind that might be. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi called yesterday for fresh negotiations with Republicans on a fiscal stimulus package, with the White House returning to session next week. But with the political climate still highly partisan, it's doubtful common ground can be reached. Now, the retail sector continues to offer up some quarterly earnings after Walmart's bigger than expected bump in quarterly same-store sales, with Target, Lowe's, and TJX companies reporting before the opening bell today. Economic data Wednesday comes from the housing market with October housing starts and building permits information that I think they were already announced, guys. We're going to have a look at the economic calendar in a minute. Oil prices strengthened today despite a jump in U.S. inventories, raising concerns of a potential supply glut as traders look to plans by the top producer to rein in output next year. Well, let's pray that that will happen and the oil markets will balance eventually. The American Petroleum Institute said late yesterday that U.S. crude stockpiles rose by 4.2 million barrels last week, well above expectations for a build of 1.7 million barrels. Official supply data are due in exactly 1 hour from now. And OPEC Plus, a group which includes members of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, as well as Russia, currently plans to boost output by 2 million barrels per day in January. Expectations are growing that their meeting at the end of the month will see this plan postponed. They've announced quite a couple of times, guys, that if needed, if the situation requires, they're going to hold back from boosting the oil supply. Crude oil futures traded 1.8% higher at $42.38 a barrel, while the international benchmark Brent contract rose 1.8% to $44.56. Gold futures fell 1.1% today, guys, trading as low as 1864 an ounce, while the euro-US dollar traded only 0.1% higher at 118.67. Now, this is the first news that we have. We are exactly 2 minutes away from the markets open. Quick read on a very interesting article from Pfizer to see what is happening with this vaccine. And then we're going to welcome my guest for today. So let's move on with the article, guys. Final results from Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine trial showed its shot had a 95% success rate and 2 months of safety data, paving the way for the drug maker to apply for an emergency U.S. authorization within a few days, it said today. The vaccines rate the highest of any candidate in late-stage clinical trials so far. Pleased experts who had already said the interim results showing Pfizer's shot was over 90% effective were very, very encouraging. Pfizer said there were 170 cases of COVID-19 in its trial of more than 43,000 volunteers, and only 8 people with the disease have been given the shot rather than a placebo, meaning the vaccine had a 95% efficacy rate. Of the 10 people who developed severe COVID-19, 1 had received the vaccine. Right, the data is very strong, said Ian Jones, a professor of virology at Britain's University of Reading. It's looking like a really, really contender. Right, good news, guys. Very, very good news so far. Now, I have a few stocks for you to watch. For the stock traders, you got used to me by now. I'm giving you stocks to watch every day at the US Open. I have 4 big companies for you to watch, guys. I have Pfizer and BioNTech, 2 of them. And then I have Boeing and Tesla. We got a breaking news today that the FAA is finally lifting the ban on the Boeing 737 MAX. Okay, so the Boeing 737 MAX might get back into circulation as soon as possible. The question is, who are they going to fly around the world with all these lockdowns and the COVID pandemic increasing? But it's a good news from Boeing, which shed over $150 from the all-time high, if I'm not mistaken, after the FAA grounded the 737 MAX. Now, it's it's 4:31 GMT plus 2, guys. By now, the American markets should have opened. So, welcome to the US trading session, everyone. Now it's official. The markets have opened. Let's do this. I'll invite George Agathangelou to join us in 30 seconds, and then we can have a quick look at what Bitcoin is doing and what is happening on the markets. What do you say? We're coming back live in 30 seconds with George Agathangelou from Cyprus Blockchain Association, guys. Stay tuned.
Keep your finger on the market pulse with the News Alerts tool. Stay up to date on the latest sentiment across all the major asset classes. Uncover bullish or bearish signals tied to specific assets that could be developing before major price moves, and track how news sentiment correlated with price in the past. Track the news volume on an asset, its fear index, and get a better feel for its underlying strength. All with News Alerts, your central hub for market information. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Right, guys, and we are back. We are back with George Agathangelou, as promised, guys, from Cyprus Blockchain Association. George, very good afternoon. How are you, first of all? How are you feeling?
Doing good. Andrew, how are you?
Always good, always good. Man, I'm a bit speechless, although I can't really afford to be speechless considering what's happening with the Bitcoin. I'll give you all the details in just a second. Now, tell me something, George. How big is the smile on your face, considering what's happening now?
Quite big. Quite. Yeah.
You're in a good mood today. That's good. Now, Bitcoin, the champion, has managed to break the $18,000 barrier last night. I am absolutely speechless. I don't know what to say anymore about this superb rally that Bitcoin had. 160% for the year and 17% in the last 3 days. What do you reckon? How likely is to see Bitcoin at $20,000 by Friday? Let's say on a scale from 1 to 10.
By Friday?
Yes.
Oh my God. I would say...
Come on a scale from 1 to 10, what do you reckon?
I don't know, man. I would say maybe a 6. Yes, I'm leaning more. It is indeed a possibility.
It is very close. Okay, I'll save you the efforts. I'll say a 9 from my point of view. I keep saying it since Monday, since last week. We're going to see Bitcoin at 17K. We're going to see Bitcoin at 18K. And it happened twice. Let's see if I can get it right for the third time in a row.
I hope you do.
Right. Okay. Now, where do we take it from here if that happens? Or when it happens? As now I don't think it's a matter of if anymore. Where do we take it from the 20,000 level, George?
Well, okay, that is a very good question, Andrew. If I don't want to speculate on it, I would, as I said before in our previous interview, I would take it a little bit easy, make sure that I understand what I'm doing, do some more research into what Bitcoin is, what is its purpose, how does it work, the mechanics and all of that. So from then on, what happens if we break $20,000 per Bitcoin?
Yep.
Then we are entering into uncharted territory.
Yep.
And I don't know. I really have no idea what to tell you as far as what happens next. We are all witnessing a great change in when it comes to a new financial paradigm, perhaps.
Yep.
So I think it's also important to see that although we have seen this, let's say, price increase on Bitcoin, we still do not have, let's say, the retail investors' interest focused on Bitcoin. And this is something that you can actually verify if you go to Google searches for Bitcoin. You will see that the increase in the searches does not correspond to what we saw back in 2017 when we had the huge bull run up to $20,000. So it might be that we're still early in the rally. However, okay, let's just take
historical price.
So I don't want to, speculate on in the future. We can only make some guesses from now on.
Yes, correct. Right. Let's do this. Let me have a quick look at the charts. Let's have a quick look at the live charts. Where are you?
Yeah.
Right. Right. So I'm looking at Bitcoin US dollar on a 60-minute chart on investing.com. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Bitcoin pulling back in the last 3-4 hours. It's currently trading at $17,789. It touched the 20 moving average. And by the looks of it, it might head to 17,588 as a support level, or a bit lower to the 50 MA at 17,356. Now, also looking at the charts, I can clearly see that Bitcoin did not manage to create a higher high. It started pulling back quite aggressively in the last couple of hours or so.
Well, in the morning we had like a whipsaw in the market.
Yeah.
We seen Bitcoin like tumbling from 18,500 down to 17,000 levels and then up again. I'm not sure what caused this. Perhaps we had a lot of sell orders at those levels, 18.5. Maybe it was a coordinated attempt in order to take some profit and buy at a lower rates. But yes, it seems that 17,000 right now acts like a floor temporarily in the short run. We'll see how that evolves. We'll see how that develops.
Now, Bitcoin seems to be liking the 300 something level from what we saw on the charts, 10,300, 11,300, 17,300. Do you think it will keep the same levels after, let's say, it reaches and it exceeds the 20,000 threshold?
You mean we'll see like a 20,300, 21,300? This is what you mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I wouldn't say that the 300 level is something that we really need to take it as granted that this is going to be either a resistance or a support. I think it's better to go back and see what happened in the past and apply technical analysis in that way in order to be able to predict or to forecast, let's say, some support or resistance. I wouldn't say that the 300 mark has any, great importance, let's say, as far as price is concerned.
Right. Here's why I'm asking. I have the 200 exponential MA, the 50 exponential MA, and the 20 exponential MA. Now, the 200 exponential shows me 16,352. The 50 MA shows me 17,356. Right? You see where I'm getting with this?
I would say that, although it is interesting, I would say that is a coincidence.
Just a coincidence? So we shouldn't keep an eye on the 20,300 level, let's say?
No, I wouldn't say that we can, give a lot of gravity on this assumption with the 300 level. No.
Right. Okay. Now, I know it's a tough question, but I have to ask. Yeah. Maybe you know, because I don't know. I've been doing a lot of research. A lot of people were asking me in the past days, and I'm running out of answers. All I can do, as you said, is speculate. What led to this amazing growth in the past few months? What was the catalyst for it? Let's take it one by one. Yeah, just give me a yes or a no.
Okay.
Global turmoil and COVID-19.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
US elections.
Yes.
Stimulus measures.
Of course.
The pressure from the big boys, from the big banks, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs.
Yes, indeed. And if you also see, there are very bullish predictions and forecasts over the last week. Maybe this was a major catalyst as well, yes.
Right. And the last but not the least, is Bitcoin being used more recently once people started understanding what Bitcoin is, how it works, and the structure, is being used as a potential hedging tool for conventional assets and inflation?
Yes, actually, yes. I would say that is a very strong hypothesis. We should also take into consideration the negative interest rates all over the world. And we should also look into what Germany is doing right now.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
A lot of German banks, they are actually charging fees for negative interest rates to their clients. And as a result, people, they don't want to hold on to cash anymore because it actually costs money to hold cash.
Yes.
So what would be a better alternative in that case? What would, let's say, safeguard people from inflation? I believe, in my opinion, always it's Bitcoin. Again,
people used to say safe haven assets.
That I hold some Bitcoins. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research.
Yes, correct. Now, conventional, safe haven assets were used till now to try and counterbalance or park cash in times of negative interest rates. But now we're seeing it. Wow. Right. Question. Would it be
It's quite funny, Andrew. Let me also, complete my thinking by saying that yesterday we also had some announcements regarding a very wealthy Mexican person. He's a billionaire, this guy. Don't remember his name. I think he was like Ricardo Salinas or something like that. Anyway, this billionaire, he placed 10% of his liquid assets into Bitcoin. Maybe this was the reason why we had such a big price increase over the last 2 days.
Depending on how much money he pumped on the markets. Yes, that might be an explanation.
Well, 10% of the liquid assets of a billionaire is, I wouldn't say that is a small amount of money. So comparative to the Bitcoin market, it could take a big chunk of it.
Yes,
so
correct.
Maybe this is the main catalyst for the price increase over the last hours.
All right, very good news, very good insight. I didn't know about that. What does it say? What does it say on your T-shirt, George?
Well, actually, this is a T-shirt that says "Held." This was given to me by the Greek cryptocurrency community. So I was feeling good about that I held. So I wore this T-shirt today, and happy days.
I was expecting to see you with a T-shirt, to be honest, with "HODL" on it. It's not a million miles away. Now,
this is a T-shirt that was printed back in May 2018. And I'm holding ever since, and I will still continue to hold.
And you're doing a great job, because I can see the smile on your face today. Now, question: would it be wise to go long on Bitcoin now, George? Many people ask me this the last 2-3 days. Would it be wise to go long, to buy, to purchase?
Well, that's again another good question. I would say take it slowly, guys. Take it slowly. I mean, try to enter into support areas. Don't just jump into it. Monitor it for a few days, see how it reacts. If you see that the market is pumping, the trend is your friend.
Yes.
However, at these very high levels, again, I would recommend to be very cautious and start with baby steps.
Right. How
it
likely?
Might be possible, Andrew, it might be possible that we can see a big correction, maybe 30, maybe 40%.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I would advise your audience to go to the chart, see how Bitcoin behaves over its history, see how quickly it can drop in value when we have people taking their profits. And let's not forget that the vast majority of Bitcoin holders are now in profit. Maybe it's, 98%, 95%. That means 19 out of 20 people that bought Bitcoin are in profit right now.
Yes.
So, yes, please exercise a lot of caution.
Right. Very well said. I agree with that 110%. Now, how likely is a correction as things stand right now, George? What should people expect? We're looking at the charts as we speak. We can see Bitcoin starting a correction, not being able to create a higher high, testing the 20 moving average. Might it go down to 17,357 to test a 50 MA?
Yeah.
Or even lower than that, 16,353?
Oh, it could be the case. Yes, it could be the case. But right now, the way things are developing and based on this bullish trend that we have seen, I would suspect that Bitcoin might try to reach $20,000 very soon again. Now, when that happens, I'm not exactly sure what will be the outcome. My best guess is that Bitcoin will retrace at $20,000 once it touches again the 20K mark. It will come down fast and correct. Although we cannot say that with certainty, because if it breaks the $20,000 mark with a lot of momentum, it will move higher and the correction will happen at a later stage.
Yeah, and then on the downside, probably it's going to stop at 20,000 or 20,300.
Well, I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin go to $20,000, then have a drop down to $14,000 again, and then continue.
What a big swing. What a big swing.
Yes, we have experienced this time and time again in the past, and after a rally, there's always a correction, and sometimes this correction happens even in a few minutes. So, just exercise a lot of caution and, have an outlook for the long term. Take it slow.
Perfect. So if Bitcoin reaches the 20,000 mark by Friday, which I said it's going to happen, is very likely to happen on Monday, who gives who a bottle of wine?
Let me buy 2 bottles. If it reaches $20,000, then I'll buy 2 bottles of wine and send it to you.
You can afford. Right. So to conclude, guys, trade with caution, expect a correction, and don't get carried away are the key phrases, let's say, correct?
Yes, that is exactly correct. Start with education, start in increasing the value and the knowledge that's contained within you. And if you do that, then you will be worth much more.
Yes. Yes, 100% correct. Right, George, thank you ever so much. A promise is a promise. I said I'm going to call you when Bitcoin reaches an historical high. I did. Should I call you again on
Let's
Friday?
see when that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen in the weekend. And yeah.
Can I call you on Friday if that happens? On Friday afternoon again?
Yeah, if that happens, I would be very happy to join you in the chat and discuss more about it.
And let me know when you're shipping the bottle of wine, if that happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Guys, once again, we had George Agathangelou with us from Cyprus Blockchain Association. George, thank you ever so much for being with us today. Thank you for the insights. And I'll talk to you on Friday, fingers crossed, at 4:30 when Bitcoin reaches 20K. Have a great day, George.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Now, we are moving on, guys, with the charts of the day. We had George Agathangelou with us. What a guy. What a character. I love this guy. So let's have a look at the charts, guys, and see how the markets open today, 18th of November, 2020. We are 20 minutes into the U.S. trading session. So we're going to start with crude oil WTI futures. But first, allow me to take the headset off. Right, we're back. So we're looking at crude oil WTI futures, currently trading at $42.12. What a good rally crude oil had today, guys. This is where we open this morning. Yes, somewhere there, oil was trading in the 41s, somewhere there, 41.50, 41.60, somewhere there. We saw a good rally, just like investing.com and myself have predicted earlier on. We saw a good rally, and we saw crude oil price pulling back a bit, correcting a bit as we got closer to the U.S. opening. RSI stochastic pointing downwards as things stand right now. In 40 minutes from now, guys, we're going to have the crude oil inventories, and that's going to give us an indication of the oil price direction. Will it come down to test the 50 moving average and basically go back where it was this morning at 41.44? Will it go even lower to test the 200 moving average at 40.61, or it's going to shoot higher? Yeah, testing the 43 mark, probably. Let's see what's going to happen. Less than 1 hour to the crude oil inventories. We're moving on to Euro US dollar, guys, which despite a good start this morning, Euro took a downturn for about 4 hours. Yeah, well supported by the 50 moving average, as you see right here. After the US Open, guys, we saw the euro turning around and pushing higher. Yeah. So that can only mean one thing. The US dollar might push lower as things stand right now, with more US states applying tight lockdown measures as COVID cases surge again. Now, good news on the pound. Let's have a quick look at the pound, guys. Right. Okay. Now, we had a positive opening on the pound this morning, somewhere there in that region. Then again, just like the euro, it started correcting. It started pulling back a bit. And again, this is the example, guys, that after a good rally of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, the markets will pull down a bit. Yeah, will pull back. That's the correction. And as things stand right now, we see the pound trading versus the US dollar at 132.63. And by the looks of it, it's looking to create higher highs. Well supported by the 20 moving average, by the 50 moving average, by the 200 moving average. Very good uptrend for the pound on a 1 hour chart. Now, USD JPY, guys. USD JPY currently trading at 103.88, pushing to the downside, well below all the moving averages, well below even the 20 moving average, with the RSI and the stochastic pointing at their lows right now. Look at the bottom of the chart. Look at that RSI in the oversold levels and still pointing downwards. Look at stochastic, still pointing downwards. There is potential for the US dollar, guys, to reach 103.27 if this downward movement will continue. Now, Let's have a quick look at the Aussie dollar, which again, just like the European currencies, did fairly well today after the European opening. And as you can see here at the last candlesticks formation, the last green candlesticks formation there. Okay, that's the Asian and the European trading session. The Aussie dollar done really, really well. It started pulling back a bit in the last 3 hours, but as things stand right now, we can see it well supported by the 50 MA. Currently trading at 0.7309. We might see the Aussie dollar pushing higher versus the US dollar today. Now, USD CAD is currently trading at 130.87, well below all the moving averages, even though it started correcting a bit. Just 3 hours ahead of the US Open, we see a very red candlestick, a very undecided candlestick as things stand right now, which just tested the 200 MA to the upside. And by the looks of it, it's going to continue. It might continue the downwards movement, guys. Overall, if we're looking at USD Canadian from a technical point of view, bear with me for a second. Right, we can see support resistance levels there. Average lows, 2. Average highs, yes, somewhere in that region. So far the USD CAD is within its range. Okay, it seems to be encountering some difficulty in pushing upwards by that 200 moving average that we see on the charts. Let's see what's going to happen. There is potential to the downside for the US dollar, as I mentioned a minute ago, as more US states applied the severe lockdown measures. Let's have a quick look at the S&P 500, guys, and see what happened at the market opening today. It wasn't as positive as we thought. Okay, it's still, we didn't see a big gap at the opening, but as things stand right now, it's more red than green. The price is still supported by the 20 moving average. Let's see what's going to happen today. We might see the S&P and the Dow Jones trading lower today, guys. Investors might get spooked by what's going on in the States. Dow Jones, again, even though it had a higher opening than usual, still, we don't see a massive gap. And as things stand right now, look at that candlestick. Look at the last red candlestick. You see the spike at the bottom and at the top. A lot of buying and selling power on the market. There is literally a fight between buyers and sellers as things stand right now. Let's see who's going to win. Yeah, the party that's going to win will push the prices either higher or lower. Now, let's move on to the next one. We're looking at the dollar index, guys. All right, let's look at the charts properly. Right, there's the dollar index. I think it's crystal clear for everyone, even for babies. Yeah, the uptrend, the downtrend that we're looking at. Right, the US dollar index traded slightly higher on the European trading session, but as we got closer to the US Open, it got rejected by the 50 MA, and now it's heading towards the downside. It's currently trading at 92.33 with the RSI and stochastic pointing downwards. Now, short-term positions, guys, probably traders that go short on it right now will aim for the 92.20 as their first take profit level, and they take it from there. Also, if it's going to continue the downtrend, guys, we might see the US dollar index trading as low as 92.11, as that's the previous low. Yeah, and the previous low was reached on the 9th of this month, a couple of weeks ago. Right, let's move on to gold futures, guys, which are dropping and dropping and dropping. Currently, we see gold trading slightly higher than it did the entire day at 1875. Today it traded as low as 1869, guys. 1860, 1869, somewhere there. Very, very undecided. And again, I can't really understand, if the dollar is in a downtrend, why gold futures are trading to the downside as well. Usually the dollar and gold move in complete opposite directions. But let's say maybe it was just a bit of pressure that markets accumulated. Maybe investors are really scared right now, and they don't know where to park their cash. They don't know how safe is the safe haven anymore, and probably they're trading Bitcoin. So gold futures, as things stand right now, they are trading slightly higher, but still we can see gold trading below that 250 moving average. Right, let's hope for a bit of a push from gold today. We're gonna have a look at some signals in a minute and see what else is going on. Light crude, guys, Brent oil futures currently trading at $44.36. Again, after a good rally on the European trading session, the closer we get to the crude oil inventories, the more Brent oil is pulling back. We might see it testing the 44.08, where's the 20 EMA, or slightly lower, 43.85, somewhere there. If it's going to continue the downwards movement, let's see how the crude oil inventories come out. Quick look at silver, guys, which again, just like gold, is heading lower. I don't know why it's trading that low. We see a death cross to be formed by the 50 and the 200 moving average there, which usually implies quite a bit of selling power on the market. So again, any gains that silver had in the last couple of hours were capped seriously by the moving averages. Now, Tesla, guys, I was telling you about the stocks to watch. Look at the opening on Tesla. Look at that jump, $449 for Tesla as things stand right now. Wow, what a great jump. Great potential to the upside for Tesla today, guys. I don't know where you want to set your take profits, but if we have any stock traders, trade carefully, guys. Remember, gaps sometimes will be filled. Now, let's have a quick look at the Bitcoin once again, guys, and see what is the Bitcoin doing right now. Come on, charts. Right, there we go. Right, Bitcoin. Currently trading at $17,756. There's the pullback that I was talking about, that George was talking about, that apparently no one else was talking about. If things continue like this, guys, 17,633 is the first support level, and the second support level is where the 50 moving average is at 17,354. Bitcoin seems to be loving the 300-something levels. 17,354 on the charts for the 50 MA, 16,352 on the charts for the 200 MA. Very curious what's going to happen. What's a bit worrying, if I may, a tiny bit of worry. We see Bitcoin not being able to create higher highs, guys. Okay, look at the past performance. Look towards the left. You can see Bitcoin creating higher highs all the time. There. Yeah, there at the very top. These are the highs. Now, looking at the latest movement, we don't see the higher highs. What is going on? How big this pullback might be to the 50 MA to 17,349, or all the way down to 16,331. Don't be surprised if Bitcoin will head lower, guys, and even test the 200 moving average at 16,000, as Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are the only asset class that have the ability of jumping $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 in only a few hours. Right, this is what is happening. Now, let's have a quick look at the trading signals, guys. Do you want the trading signals? Yes or no? Right. Euro USD, very undecided. Half an hour already into the US trading session. The pound, guys, look at the cable. Strong buy on all 4 time frames. Very good strong buy positions for the cable as things stand right now. And then USD JPY, strong sell on 4 time frames. A lot of neutral signals on the charts, guys. Euro, GBP, strong sell. Why is the euro dropping, though? Why is the euro set to drop? I don't get it. Right, let's move on. Right, strong sell, strong sell, strong sell. USD CAD just turned into a strong sell. So the US dollar might advance towards the downside today, guys. Now, GBP JPY, strong buy on all 4 time frames, and GBP CHF, again, strong buy on all 4 time frames. Wow, very positive pound we have today. Probably on the news that we're very close. I mean, the European Union and UK is very close to some sort of an agreement. I don't even want to know until the agreement is signed and stamped what sort of the agreement they're going to sign for. Now, quick look at the American indices. NASDAQ 100, strong sell, and sell on an hourly chart. The daily remains a strong buy. S&P 500, half an hour into the US Open. Strong sell on a 5-minute chart, strong sell on a 15-minute chart. The daily still remains a strong buy. Dow Jones, guys, look at the Dow Jones. 4 strong buy on all 4 time frames. Well done, Dow Jones. Well done. Now, DJ Transportation, Dow Jones Transportation, guys, 4 strong buy signals. DJ Utility, strong sell on the first 3 time frames. The daily still remains a strong buy. The DJ Composite, strong buy on all 4 time frames. Well done. Let's have a quick look at commodities, guys. Maybe I can help you a bit more with the courtesy of our friends from investing.com, making these lovely free trading signals available for everyone. There you go. A lot of uncertainty on commodities, guys. Gold, undecided. Buy, sell. No one knows what's going to happen. Silver, strong sell on 3 time frames. Copper, undecided. We have a strong sell on a 15 minutes, an hourly, and a strong buy for the day. What's going to happen? Only God knows. Crude oil, WTI, and Brent oil, they do have strong buy positions as things stand right now. But remember, guys, in 25 minutes from now, we're going to have the crude oil inventories. That might completely turn the situation around. So trade with caution. Natural gas, strong sell on two time frames and sell on the other two. And US wheat, guys, still in a buy from this morning. Well done for US wheat. Who doesn't like wheat? Right. This is what is going on with the charts so far. This is what is going on with the charts so far. Very, very interesting. Still undecided. The markets are very, very choppy, guys. No wonder Bitcoin had the rally it had. Quick look at the economy calendar before I let you go. We had core CPI and CPI month-to-month and year-over-year announced today at lunchtime in the Eurozone, which came out exactly as expected by consensus from what we see there. 0.2% expected, 0.2% actual. And in the afternoon, we had building permits and quite a few announcements. Building permits, housing starts, and the core CPI in North America and Canada. Building permits on the US dollar came out negative, below consensus expectations at 1,545,000 versus an expectation of 1,560,000. It was close, but still quite far. Building permits came out 0%. Housing starts came out at 4.9%. And housing starts for October came out positive 1,530,000 versus an expectation of 1,460,000. Very, very nice. Core CPI came out 0.4% on the Canadian dollar, and the CPI came out on a positive 0.4% versus a prediction of only 0.2%. Now, there we go, guys. We have crude oil inventories and Cushing crude oil inventories, followed by FOMC press conference. Right, the markets might get very, very choppy in the next half an hour or so. Now, remember, once again, guys, tomorrow morning, very, very, very interesting. Bear with me for a second. What do we have tomorrow morning? Tomorrow morning, we're going to have João Monteiro, guys, for the European markets opening. Nice and early at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have a coffee ready for João Monteiro. And we're going to talk about Bitcoin, about the current situation of the markets, and the most recent developments of Forex. So, this being said, guys, join me tomorrow morning for an amazing round of market talks with João Monteiro, nice and early at 10 o'clock. Until then, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money. Have a nice evening, guys.